Morning YouTube, Greg's Garage, day 14 welder challenge, and it's Sunday and I promised myself I wasn't going to work on this lathe because I'm a bit sick of it, frankly, but I came out to the shed and just couldn't help myself. So as you can see on the bench here, I've just been pulling apart the last of the lathe parts, so the tail stock and the cross sliding compound, and I've just gone and found the rest of my accessories for this lathe. So there's a fixed steady, carriage stop, thread chasing dial, a few lathe dogs here, and I'm going to paint those all as well just so they all match the lathe when we're done. There's a few gears around the place from the gear train that have also got green paint on them, so I will go and strip those or just hand paint them during the week. So I was just really prepping up more parts to continue painting during the week, so it won't be too much of an update, but I'll maybe take a couple of photos once we're done this afternoon, and that'll record today's activities. Okay, I've got to clean up these before I paint them, but I thought I'll have a crack at getting these bearings out. And I was talking the other day about making up a bridge to use a puller to pull this thing out. Turned out there wasn't much of a lip behind the bearing to actually grab onto, so there wasn't much here to grab onto. So I thought, well, I had a couple of good suggestions. One of the viewers actually said, well, I'll make a bridge back here and put a bar through it and push off that to grab it, but I still have the same problem, not having enough meat to grab the back of this bearing race. So thought I'd do something quick and cheap and nasty, and this punch I bought, which was way too long. You did see one of the earlier videos, it had bent. It was very slender at the tip here, and it had bent, and I really had cracked the shits with it. But I thought, well, I'll just cut the end off it and make a small punch, because what I needed was this diameter, not all this meat. That was all in the way when I was trying to hammer this bearing out. So I cut the end off it. Sure enough, that worked a treat. So I just did this one now. I'm going to show you the other one on camera and you can see how it works. Well, there you go, it wasn't too hard after all. And considering that's the way the manufacturer says to get them out, that says to me that these bearings aren't a really tight interference fit in this housing. So I'm going to keep these outer races for now, and I'm going to use those to help me press in the new ones. So I'll show you how I do that later in the week, but I think I'll paint all this first and we'll put the bearings in last. So I've got to give all these parts another clean because there's paint dust from the grinding all over the place, and some of these parts have got oil galleries in them, you know, like here and here, and the oil galleries for the fillers at the front, and you know, all of these channels will now be full of probably a paste of kerosene from the cleaning and paint chips from the grinding. So I don't want those blocking up any of the holes and causing the bearings to run dry. So I'm going to put these back in the Kero bath in the parts cleaner and clean everything up, let them dry overnight. So today's Sunday, so Monday night when I come back to the workshop, hopefully everything will be dry and we can get on with the prep and the paint. Thanks for watching.